Sonoma State University is being gutted. Entire academic departments are shutting down. All NCAA sports, gone. Over 100 faculty and staff have been laid off. And unless you've been following closely, you probably haven't heard just how big this is. I'm not here as a reporter, I'm here as a local business owner, community member, and Sonoma State alumni. I graduated from Sonoma State School of Business. It's where I learned how to think critically, how to lead, how to question things that don't sit right. It shaped my life in ways I'm still discovering. So when I saw what's happening now, a $24 million budget shortfall, sweeping layoffs, and the biggest restructuring in school history, it hit hard. This video isn't just about budgets and headlines. It's about students caught mid-degree, professors forced out, and a campus community wondering what's left. We're going to break it all down. What led to this moment, how the administration is defending it, and what comes next for so many of us who still care about Sonoma State. Let's start with the facts. In 2015, Sonoma State had over 9,400 students. Today, it has fewer than 5,800. That's a drop of more than 38%, and the steepest decline in the California State University system. This isn't a surprise to those who have been paying attention. Enrollment's been falling steadily for years. Fewer high school graduates in the region, the pandemic, rising housing costs, and years of leadership turnover have all contributed. But fewer students means less tuition, and the state funding model doesn't make up the difference. In fact, it now shifts money away from shrinking campuses. So you've got less revenue, less support, and rising costs. Add it all up and you get a $24 million budget deficit. The university says they've been sounding the alarm for years, and that this moment, as brutal as it is, was inevitable without a major change. In January 2025, SSU's leadership sent out a campus-wide email that hit like a bomb. It listed the programs and departments that would be eliminated as part of the budget plan. The list wasn't just long, it felt foundational. Over 20 degree programs were cut, some of them small, yes, but others long-standing legacy programs that shaped generations of students. Philosophy, physics, theater, geology, women's and gender studies, French, art history, dance, even some science and graduate programs. 6 full academic departments are being shut down completely. More than 100 faculty and staff positions are being eliminated, including tenured professors, lecturers, department chairs, and advisors. Many of these people have spent decades building their programs. And then there's athletics. SSU is cutting its entire NCAA Division II athletics program. Men's and women's basketball, soccer, baseball, volleyball, they're all gone. That means no more games, no more scholarships for future student athletes. No more student athletes whose college experience is deeply shaped by their sport. To be clear, this isn't just a series of cuts. This is a redefinition of what Sonoma State is and who it serves. When you look past the headlines, the numbers, and the emails, what you're left with are people. A student I read about had 2 majors, both were eliminated. He's now trying to piece together a graduation plan that still makes sense. Others said they logged into student forums and saw people talking about transferring, not venting, planning. Some students don't even know what classes will still be offered next year. Some athletes are scrambling to transfer if they want to keep playing. Seniors are trying to enjoy their final months on campus while processing the fact that the programs that they loved won't exist next fall. And faculty, you could hear the heartbreak in their voices. These aren't just jobs, these are careers. They're departments built from scratch, curricula designed with care, mentorships formed over years. At one of the final women's basketball games, the crowd packed the stands. People stood for the whole game. The players gave everything they had and then some. When the final buzzer sounded, there were tears. Not because of the score, but because it was the last time those jerseys would be worn. This is a loss of identity for students, faculty, staff, and alumni, for the North Bay, and for the entire Sonoma State community. Interim President Emily Cottrell and her team have said the same thing again and again. These cuts are painful, but necessary. Here's their argument. The campus was financially unstable. Without action, it wouldn't survive. The cuts targeted program with low enrollment or high cost per student. Eliminating athletics, while deeply emotional, would save $3.3 million per year. Money that could be reallocated to academics. And above all, no currently enrolled student would be left without a path to graduate. Teach-out plans would be implemented. No one would be left behind. They've launched a new roadmap called Bridge to the Future, a 5-year plan focused on growing enrollment, developing new career-focused programs, and restoring financial stability. Cottrell has acknowledged that this isn't a solution that everyone will love, but she says it's the only one that will give SSU a chance at a future. Some people accept that, others believe the damage was avoidable. So could this have been prevented? That depends how far back you want to look. Sonoma State has had 4 presidents since 2016. That kind of instability makes it hard to plan long-term, much less weather a storm this big. The school's identity has shifted back and forth over the last decade. First, with expensive capital projects, then diversity initiatives, then enrollment-focused programs, but nothing stuck long enough to move the needle. Many faculty and students say they were blindsided by the severity and speed of the cuts. And a judge recently agreed that the university may have violated its own internal procedures in how it announced and implemented them. Then there's the CSU system. Sonoma State isn't the only campus struggling, but the system's current model allocates less funding to campuses with declining enrollment. It's a cycle. Lose students, lose money. Make cuts, lose students. That's not sustainable. In April, a group of legislators came to campus and they said it plainly. Sonoma State is the canary in the coal mine. If we let this happen here, it's only a matter of time before other regional campuses follow. So yes, there's accountability to go around, on campus, in the chancellor's office, and in Sacramento. The bigger question is, will we learn from this or repeat it? Let's talk about the future. First, the university has a responsibility to its current students. Teach-outs must be honored. Advising must be clear. If a student's path to graduating is being altered, they deserve full transparency and support. Second, the Bridge to the Future plan needs real collaboration, not just from administration, but from faculty, students, alumni, and local partners. The school's next chapter can't be built in a boardroom, it has to be shaped by the people who live it. Third, the CSU and the state need to look at how we fund and support schools like Sonoma State. Regional campuses play a critical role in access, equity, and workforce development, but they can't do it without stability and investment. And finally, we as alumni and community members need to step up. Not just to mourn what was lost, but to help build what comes next. Whether that means writing your state rep, mentoring a student, donating to a department that's still standing, or just staying engaged, every bit counts. This is hard. For students trying to make sense of a disrupted education, for faculty grieving over the loss of their life's work, for parents and families wondering if Sonoma State is still the right place to send their kids. And for those of us who graduated from this place who still carry that Seawolf pride, it's heartbreaking to watch from the outside, wondering what's left. But I believe this university still matters. I believe that it can find its way through this, and that maybe, just maybe, this moment is the start of something better. Something more honest, more sustainable, more rooted in the community that it serves. Sonoma State gave me a foundation. It gave me mentors who challenged me, friends who supported me, and opportunities that changed my life. And I'll keep fighting for it to offer that to the next generation, even if it looks a little bit different. If you care about Sonoma State, don't check out now. This is the moment to lean in, to speak up, to support, to rebuild. And as always, if you found this helpful, please hit that like button to show the algorithm to send it to more people. And if you want to stay up to date on this and other relevant topics in our community, hit subscribe to follow along for more real life in Sonoma County, and thanks for watching.